mic on and then repeat what you said.
It isn't.
I'm finna use this shit.
No, but
It's on the live.
like, you know, no, but what I was saying was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm kind of let me pause it. No, what I was saying, basically, like, you just get to the point where you just so used to like something being good, especially like for money, for instance. Like, say you didn't have much money growing up, but then you get to a position where you're making a lot of money. Now you get way more than what you used to. And at first you're just like, man, I'm grateful for this. But you get so used to it, like it's just like it's natural. So that appreciation just turns into a norm, and you're not really thinking about that. But then that's just like something to bring up with her. Like, look, I do all these things, not even for you, but that's just in my nature. And all I ask for is for you to change just your toxic or bad behavior because it's a detriment to our relationship. And that's like a pretty fair deal because that's all
Right.
you get. That's all she gotta do. Because it ain't like you ask her to do the shit you doing or to replace what you do. You just asking her to work on bad behavior.
I mean, and it's not even necessarily like I ain't trying to make it seem like it's the worst person ever. Like it's not even bad behavior. It's just like little stuff that it's just little everyday stuff that you just need to work on. Like stuff that I wouldn't usually think that I would have to remind you that's like not okay. But I mean, nobody's perfect. That's what I try to be understanding about. That nobody's perfect, even me. Like I'ma do shit that I might think is cool or I'm used to doing, and then she might not be in that. She might not think that that's the way to do something. So that's where the communication got to come in. So I mean, I agree with what you're saying though. I just think I be talk like I told you. I just one of them situations where you get to talking and you expressing yourself, but you saying a lot, but you're not really saying like enough for them to understand. You feel me? Like you just talking. Like it's
Yeah,
easy for you to get lost in that. That's understandable. I
yeah.
wanted to
But I think
ask
it
y'all.
just
Uh
what
huh.
is that? Nah, but I think it's just when you have talks like that, you should always go into it at least having a set guide of what you're trying to say. Because it's definitely less effective when you just talking about problems, but then you thinking of it on the fly. Because instead of it just being like, oh, okay, this person knows exactly what's going on and how to fix it or how to point us in the right direction, it's just like you making this shit up on the fly. So it's like you think you know what you're talking about, but you're not confident on it because you're still like going as you thinking instead of it being already thought.
Mhm.
What was you gonna say?
Uh, no, I was gonna say as far as like conversations like those, it's easy for me to have, like honestly. But I think that basically, I think that conversations like that are hard to have for most people, is because it like they certain people want to be heard, right? They want their point to be heard. But if they feel like at any point, even if you say that you heard them, if they feel like at any point that their point was like misunderstood or wasn't met, then they kind of like don't listen to you no more. You feel me? Like people don't really get an understanding of what you really saying because they feel like you didn't understand what the fuck they was saying. And I feel like that's a lot of what I be going through. Like, it's like I'm not saying she don't want to listen, but a lot of times she don't listen just simply because like she feel like I'm not listening to her, and then that's where the disconnect is. And that's the type of shit that make me not even want to talk, because it's like, how am I talk and you not listening? Because I'm not listening to you, even though I am.
Yeah,
Niggas just trying to
yeah,
get their point across. It's the
yeah.
stubbornness, man. That stuff's gotta go.
And that's something to reiterate too. Like me and you both gotta let go of this stubbornness, and we need to really fix this shit.
Yep, me and you both. I be trying to like be fair, because I know I ain't perfect. Shit, I got my stubborn moments too where I ain't trying to hit shit, but a learning process. We gotta grow from this stuff.
Yeah, but it also got to be just a willingness for her to do that though, because you can say it as much as you want, but if she's not willing to like listen to you to understand what you're saying instead of listening to just respond, then the conversation gonna get nowhere.
There you go. I think it's a lot of listening just to respond going on. It's not really any like, let me hear you, let me understand you, let me comprehend everything you're saying, create some understanding, and then speak. Like, it's a lot of just, okay, I heard what you said, so let me say this, and then we're done.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
I think that's just naturally how people are, but it's also supposed to be something people overcome. But a lot of people don't do that, and especially like when it comes to talking about just relationships in general, like friendships or whatever. And like my ex used to do this a lot. Like we would just talk about our relationship and shit, and like she would always feel like she was personally attacked. But then it just makes you feel like, damn, I can't really, we can't work on this because I have to worry about me hurting your feelings
Right.
when I'm just trying to help you understand how what you're doing is affecting me and how I'm trying to better both of us so that it betters the whole relationship. And it's like it took me like till we broke up to realize that shit. But once you deal with that shit, then you just like, damn, like you never got an understanding because of just this ego. And because of how bad the ego was, nothing productive got done. And the same problem just kept coming back because there was never a clear understanding on the first issue. So now that you on issue 10, all them little issues add up. Instead of it just being issue number 1, now it's issue 1 through 10. And I didn't really realize that till I started talking to this new girl. And it was like, she actually heard me and understood what I was saying. And then that was like low-key the first time a girl told me like, yeah, I understand, I'm gonna work on it and be better. And you hear that shit, you just like, what the fuck?
Right.
Which is sad. But then that's just the reality of it. Because a lot of people just have an unwillingness to understand, like, I'm in the wrong. Or like you just, like you always in your head just thinking you giving your best. Or you're doing enough. So when someone just brings it to your attention, like, your actions are wronging me, it's always two actions that's gonna happen. You're either gonna feel one, attack, or two, you're gonna try to understand where that person coming from. And I always say like a good 60% of the time, people get attacked before they even know why you brought that issue up in the first place.
But
But it's
see,
just a
that's
whole,
exactly why I like. I kind of I like what Kwame Brown said. When you dealing with women, you gotta say what you gonna say, and no matter how crazy they get, you gotta stand on what you say. You don't threaten them. You don't get emotional and argue and all that other shit. You gotta stand on what you say with them, because in this society now, what you say can be used against you heavily, and your words can be completely misconstrued. So that's why I try to like move a little differently when talking to women, because I try to be polite, but at the same time, it's certain things that they try to get over you nowadays that is just I don't know. Like let me think of an example. Cause it be little stuff like little conversation pieces and stuff that they try to get past you. Like it'll be things that they won't say directly, but they'll try to guilt you into doing things. And this isn't with all women, but I see this is with a lot of women who don't have fathers in their lives, and this is because they don't know how to treat men. Like they don't know how to talk to or approach or deal with men, because they never had, a man in their life to deal with or to raise them. So it's kind of like they just going off the hinge with it, basically, which is understandable, because if it's a guy without a father, he ain't gonna know how to treat women, so he gonna be just doing whatever too. So it's the same it's the same type of thing. But my whole thing is that you know better, you do better. So if you don't know how to treat men, or if you a woman that don't know how to treat men, or if you a guy that don't know how to treat women, you gotta take the time out to learn this stuff. We gotta sit back and have conversations with one another, comfortable or not. We gotta get, like, that's one thing I feel like me and my girl have to get past. And I always said this: having conversations without filtering everything through our emotions. Because when you do that, then you can't even have a conversation. You can't challenge any talking points. You can't get anywhere in a conversation because everything you said is it has weight behind it, type shit.
Yeah.
Shit weak.
And yeah. And that's probably, I think, I don't want to say it's a women issue, but I just think like,
It's a human issue.
I think just, yeah, but I think just for them, it's just hard for them to like,
Well, men and women
I don't,
differently mentally, so we're gonna think differently, sexual wise. Like for men, we have emotions, but we can control ours better. Except the only thing that makes it harder for us is the testosterone. But even with that, men have shown to be a little more, more balanced with the emotional control. But women are just more sensitive, which is fine. They have every right to be. You know?
yeah, that's just like, that's just a natural thing. It's
Right.
just they always going, I don't want to say they always think with their emotions, but
It's just natural for
after
them
they
to
hear it,
filter it through them.
yeah, it's like after they hear it, normally the second point that comes into play is like how they feel about something, and then that's why it's like a gap. Well, I think it takes practice, but I think you also just gotta realize like, is she willing to practice it? Because you can have them talks all day, but
If it
if the
ain't being
practice
put
ain't
into
coming in,
motion, it ain't shit.
yeah. But just like how you say, like you try to word it like softly and all that, like um, I would say the best way. Like honestly, I think the best middle ground is just like say what you're gonna say, just don't say it like harsh. But like don't try to sugarcoat it like either. Like say it like don't say it how you want to receive it. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'll be doing that shit and then I'll be hurting motherfuckers' feelings. But I'm like, damn, like I want people to say that shit to me
Bro,
because I want you to tell me straight up if I'm fucking up.
empathy, man.
But
I
other,
get it.
yeah. But again, just know your personnel and all that.
Yeah.
Know, and just be clear on what you're gonna say, and just do not like backtrack what you're gonna say. Like whatever you say towards her, like that gotta be what you stick to. Because the moment you try to like deter from that shit, and then you're gonna lose sight of what you're trying to talk about in the first place. And then now y'all gonna be talking about a whole different subject because you tried to sweeten up what you tried to say.
Right.
But
Like for example, I be talking about this shit. Then she'll try to kind of brush past it and try to talk about like work and stuff, which is fine. I don't really care about talk about work. But then one thing I noticed is that usually when she'll talk about work, she'll have a complaint about work. So like almost every night when she talk about work, she had a complaint. So I'll give her like little pieces of advice to tell her what to do to be able to deal with these situations, so that she don't really have to, go through all the extra she been going through at work. But instead of taking what I was giving her as advice, she more or less said she felt like she just didn't want to tell me today because I wasn't listening.
yeah, when I would say like the best way to deal with that would probably be like, I think it's just like an adjustment period. But I would suggest, even if you don't want to do it, your best bet would probably just be like, listen to her complain first, right? Like, listen to her complain, just listen. Because when they in that, like when they in that mood, I ain't gonna lie to you, your best bet is just to let her complain.
Ain't no winning that one, huh?
It ain't. I ain't saying that. Like, it's just like you gotta let them complain, shit.
Yeah.
And then like after that, like the next day or something, and be like, you gotta let them get out of that complaining state. Like let them calm down, let them vent out what they're feeling.
Yeah.
And then like a little bit later, then say what you was gonna say. Cause I know me personally, like if I'm complaining, nah, I ain't gonna talk to you. I'm like that. But just for people I know, like if they complaining to me, and I'm like, oh well, we should have did this. Then, cause that's why I'm my ex-best friend. Like she was always complaining. I'd be like, why you ain't do this? Why you ain't do that? And shit like that. And she didn't really tell me this after we stopped being friends. But then she was just like I get you be trying to give me advice and trying to like want to help me and all that. But I really just be needing somebody to like just listen. And then I was listening, but I was mainly listening just to give advice. But people like that, like when they get into that mode where they want to complain or just talk about the annoying shit happening at work, they just want to get that little stress off because they're comfortable telling you that.
Yeah, man, and but it's really hard to do that when the same person who requires that type of treatment don't even ask you how your day was.
Yeah.
So no, you don't even want. Like, why would you want to sit back and listen to somebody explain and break down every day that they have at work for almost 30 minutes every day, just for them to turn around and not even give a fuck how your day went? Like, come on now, that'll piss you off that'll piss you off to your core. And then when you bring it to their attention, the first thing they have for you is, well, I was tired.
Yeah, that's true. And that's just
like, you just get tired of that shit. Like, you start to look at people like, bro, that's just goofballish. Like, she came over here last week. We not together, but she came over here last week and spent like 2 nights, right? So she leaves her stuff here. Right? Tells me, I'm coming back. This is what I'm told. Her stuff is here. She says she's coming back. She leaves for work at like 6 in the morning. I don't get a phone call. I don't get a text message all day. I check I go on Snapchat to post. So I check her story to make sure she cool. You didn't even tell me if you made it to work. You ain't tell me if you off work yet. You ain't tell. I ain't heard from you all day. I checked the Snap. She unadded me on Snap. I texted her phone number. She wasn't responding for 2 days. I texted her on Facebook. I'm not added on Facebook either. And none of my calls or messages are going through.
What did she tell you?
So, I wait a day. Because, I'm not with that blowing up people's phone shit. So, I wait a day. I call her again, right? Now, I call her again after trying to get in contact with her for like a whole day before this. She responds to me and says, hold on, I'm on the phone with my cousin. You ain't talked to me for 2 days straight. And you think I give a fuck if you on the phone with your cousin? I told her, bitch, come get your clothes. Come get your clothes. Just come get your clothes. Nothing else needs to be said. Come get your clothes. And she telling me, I don't want no beef or whatever, but I just don't think that it's gonna work out or whatever. But I'm like, bitch, you should have said that when you was here for 2 days. Am I not wrong?
Nah, you're not. Wait,
You
when
were
did this
here
happen?
for
This
two.
recent?
Yeah, this was recent. That's why I said I want to work it out with you, but I don't, because it's like you're not making the right decisions at all. Like, and it's like, should, like, the first time, like, this is not the first time she did this neither. She did this a couple weeks ago, but she said her mother was sick, so I ain't trip on it. But I kept my eye on her because I thought she was gonna do it again, and she did. She did it the week right after that. She did it right after that. The very week after she did it the first time, she did the shit again. And the first time she told me it was because her mama was sick. I believed it because I know how her mama is. But then you do it again, and then your excuse this time is because you don't want to be with me, and you just being honest. But bitch, where was the honesty when you were laying in my bed for 2 nights talking about working it out and making it better?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's, well, I'm just being honest, I don't think it's gonna work out. Like, no, I told her this straight up, like, no. You knew we were doing just fine. Your ass went to work, went home, or wherever the fuck you went, and let somebody get in your ear, and you listened. And I don't give a fuck who it was, but you and whoever the fuck it is that got in your ear can come pick your fucking clothes up, bitch.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, shit.
That's how you do that, because don't nobody spend 2 nights with you, bro. Go to work for a couple hours and then disappear on you for 2 days. And then hit you, and then you get in contact with them. They don't hit you up. You have to force contact with them for them to say, "Oh, I'm just being honest." But no. Honesty flew out the fucking door, you dumbass. When you decided to do what you did, like, that's what I be saying. That's why I told y'all, like, when I do what I do out in these streets, man, with these bitches, man, I don't do it for fun. I do it because I know that motherfuckers is trying to play me. I
mean,
pay.
if that's the case, though, I mean, I don't really think there's much you could talk about, because if she already gave up on that,
I mean,
yeah.
like, yeah, like I told you, like, I'm at the point where, like, I want to say fuck it, but at the same time, she's kind of like, like, she's trying, but she's not. That's what I say. Like, I think I should be the one to just say fuck it and just, just end all that shit. Cause, like, it's getting confusing at this point. It's like, motherfuckers will say one thing and do a whole nother thing at this point. That's what I'm saying. Like, you saying one thing, your mouth is telling me this, your mouth is telling me all this beautiful stuff, your pussy is telling me all of this beautiful stuff, but what your actions, what you're displaying, isn't telling me what, it's not matching up to what you saying to me, what you trying to claim that you gonna do. It's not adding up, and it seems like it's getting fucking worse. Like I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know. Like, I'ma try. I'll talk to the girl. I got no problem with that, but I just don't know. I don't know how much farther this could go. Like, seriously, shit. Like, if she don't try to do something different, like, I've been trying to do shit different for a long time, bro. Like, I have not even been talking to anyone, and the girl hits me up asking me, did I have sex with anybody else, because she was having problems with her shit. Like, what?
That sounds weird.
Huh?
That sounds weird.
Yeah.
You like it? Nah, I don't know. At least, like, my opinion, at least like me personally,
That boy Gary, MIA.
he left the party.
Oh, you did? I ain't even know. Dobie did too?
He muted. Nah, in my opinion though, this is just me, but I don't think I could work something out with somebody who already like is prepared to leave. You feel me? And like from way like she's saying it like if she's saying like I don't know where this could go, or I don't think that it's worth like fighting for it. You said what? What'd you say?
I don't know where to go. She's just saying like I need time for myself. She don't, you know, I don't know what she wants. Like she really doesn't. She's still
But
here.
that's the thing though. I feel like she don't know what she wants though at the same time.
She wants. She does. Like I can honestly use my phone. She don't know, and I can tell because it's the way she move and it's the way she do stuff. Like she'll like okay, for example, right? This is how I already determined in the dough she doesn't know what she wants. The fact that the people that you reside with, the people you stay with, the people you call your family, right? Those same people can steal from you, rob you, lie to you, cheat you, and do all this crap to you, and you can still look at them with respect. All you want to run.
You like you hear me? You lagging, my boy. You hear me?
Hello?
Yeah.
Alright, that's enough for the live stream. I'm finna join the party off my phone. My shit tweaking. I need to. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow and shit. I'm finna go smoke. Alright. That's my boy.